One of the reasons I chose Ulster is because originally I had done a Fulbright here, so I had some exposure to the university. I really enjoyed the teaching as well as the interaction with the students. And pursuing a PhD was something I had always wanted to do. But quite honestly, in the United States, where I'm from, it's just too cost prohibitive to pursue a PhD. So when I received the Vice Chancellor Scholarship, it allowed me to pursue the PhD, which was something I had always wanted to do. I had received the Vice Chancellor Scholarship, which paid for the tuition to attend the university for the PhD itself, as well as a monthly stipend. That monthly stipend greatly helped with housing, and providing for the things I needed while I was pursuing the PhD. There was also funding set aside within that scholarship for me to attend conferences, to attend other events, to network, which now that I've finished the PhD, I have found to be really valuable because I use those networks now to continue with the work I do today. I think during my PhD, it was actually pretty varied. Some days would be days where I simply read the articles to get the knowledge I needed about about the research I was doing. There would be other days where I would meet with my supervisors, to make sure I was on target for what I was trying to accomplish. Other days, sometimes I was interviewing people for my PhD, which I thought was the most enjoyable part of it, was getting to get out and interact with the people my research was based on. I think I would add to that, though, that, being from a different country, the structure of the PhD here for me was much better. So, for example, in the United States, I would have to attend a lot of classes that I didn't think would really tie into the work I was doing. And those classes were established, I felt, just to be able to have the student spend more resources to attend the university, but which may not be tied directly to the research I was doing. But I really felt like, it was more of a free structure than a standard undergrad or other kind of university experience. But I like that freedom because then I could focus on doing the research that I wanted to do and learn about the things I thought would make my PhD as valuable as possible. The researcher development program was really helpful as well, because I felt it was very customizable to the things I did need to know. For example, shoring up some of my training as far as statistical analysis and some of the other things, and that kind of quantitative research that did end up playing a role in my PhD that hadn't originally been planned for. But I think that's one of the strengths of the way the program is designed, is being able to meet with your supervisors and work one-on-one. You're able to discuss not just your strengths, but your weaknesses and how to shore those up to make sure that by the time you finish your PhD, you're really well-rounded in what you know and what you need to know before you enter working for private industry or working in academia or working for an organization. So some of the other things that were available through the Ulster University were the PhD Festival, and that was, I thought personally for me, a really good experience because it let not just myself but other PhD researchers practice presenting their research, being able to create and demonstrate to people what you've been doing, what you hope to accomplish, and also to keep making connections with other people in the field who might be interested in your research. And I know since I finished my PhD, I've been able to connect with people who have worked with me through that conference and through some of the other conferences, and co-authored papers together and done other research together. So I do think that's really beneficial for students to get the chance to get out there and demonstrate their capabilities and what they're doing. I think if I was going to encourage anyone to do a PhD, I think the thing I would say first and foremost is make sure you're doing it for yourself. Like I said, I'd wanted to do a PhD for a very long time. It was just an aspiration I had. Being a first-gen college student, having no one in my family attend college before me, obtaining that was just always a goal I'd wanted, and it was very fulfilling to do that. So I think that's really important, to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I would also say don't be scared of moving forward. I mean, if you're a non-traditional student, and I'll say non-traditional in my case to mean a little older than the curve, because I actually returned to start my PhD when I was about 40 years old. But once again, I mean, it was something that I had always wanted to accomplish in my life, so I did it for me. And it's worked out really well. So I think as long as you go in with the right expectations and for the right reasons, then it'll be a benefit to you. So I finished my degree about 2 years ago. Since that time, I've been able to actively use the knowledge that I gained obtaining that PhD to continue my work in academia, to continue publishing, to continue providing guest lectures. I also currently train a lot of employers, but probably one of the biggest things I've done over the last 2 years is do a lot of policy work with the UK government and other devolved administrations across the UK concerning the employment and the rights of disabled people across the countries.